Just make sure we're in frame. Thanks for tuning in. My name is Lisa, and listen, I'm truly just a girl with no time trying to make time for makeup, fashion, and beauty, with hopes and a goal to inspire you to do the same. Now, today's video is a little nostalgic because I've got to think back to all of the dumb stuff that I either did or did not do back in my heyday. And I'm sharing all of the hygiene tips and or products that I wish I would have known sooner. Tips that I would share with my younger self. And if I could sit her down, if I could sit little me, little Lisa down, these are the things that I would say. Products you should incorporate and things you should definitely stay away of. So whether you're in your 20s, your 30s, or your 40s, you're in a season of glow up, or you just want to see if some of this stuff is some of the dumb that you've done too, then you need to keep on watching. From head to toe, these are the things that I would let her know. I'm going to begin with the scalp routine. And the first thing that I would let her know, baby girl, shampoo is not the devil. So I've been natural for 14 years, and back in my early natural hair days, I learned about co-washing. And listen, I dropped shampoo like it was a bad habit, literally turned my back on it like it was the devil's child. And if you're someone who went natural back in 2008, 2010, let me know down in the comments below if you remember that time. But literally, co-washing was something that was like heaven sent. It was like the thing to do. Certified, hands down, coined to be like the best thing, the best routine for your hair. And you couldn't pay me to buy a bottle of shampoo, especially if it was a clarifying shampoo. Word on the street was that the clarifying shampoo, it strips your hair of its natural oils, and it just wasn't something that you should ultimately do. And so co-washing it was. For me, that is. And I feel like I just did an injustice to my hair. And it took me a while, but later on, I eventually turned back and looked back into like just washing my scalp. Honestly, the only time that I would wash my hair is if I went to the hairdresser, and I can't really tell them not to use shampoo on my hair. That's just what they're going to do. So I just went ahead and I allowed for them to use the shampoo on my hair. But back then, and it took me a while, probably a good 10, 11, 10 years before I really started just truly practicing and truly following the proper steps that I needed to do as it pertained to like just cleansing my scalp. Because honestly, there's really nothing wrong with washing your hair. So wash your hair, baby girl. But when you wash your hair, it's going to cleanse the scalp. It's going to remove all of the dirt and the impurities. And essentially, baby, like just do a little deep conditioner. You deep condition your hair. You condition it so that you can add all of that moisture back in. It's very similar to what you do with your skin and your body. And so when I think back to how nasty my scalp probably was, I literally, hands down, don't even want to think about it. And the next thing we're going to jump into is the ear, a certified ear routine. One of the things that I wish I would have known a long time ago would have saved me a whole lot of heartache. It would have saved my child a whole lot of pain. And child, it would have saved me a whole lot of money. But listen, baby girl, Q-tips are not for your ear. Q-tips are not meant to clean your ears. So baby girl, you better stop. Stop. Put that Q-tip down. Just stop. Put that Q-tip down. Q-tips are not meant for the ear. The experts and the professionals will say that the ear is a self-cleaning mechanism, and ultimately like it cleanses itself. So what you should be doing is using maybe like a damp cloth or a dry cloth, and using that cloth to wipe around your ear. But this cotton swabs can actually damage your ear, actually more harmful to your ears. They hurt your ears more than they help it. What it actually does is push the bacteria back into the ear canal, and you have the possibility of potentially like injuring your eardrum. So you should never really be pushing a Q-tip, cotton swab, whatever it is that we call it these days, or that country folk call it, into your ear. My personal experience was new mom. How old was my son? He was probably like 2, 3, 4 years old. Well, he was complaining. You know what he was complaining about? like his ear. He had maybe like a little bit of a temperature the next day. And then maybe like later on that evening or the day after that, we were getting him a haircut and his ear just started draining blood. He was bleeding from his ear. Had to take him to the emergency room, child. Ended up taking him to an ENT who further evaluated him for us to find that when I was cleaning his ear with a Q-tip, and he jumped, piece of that Q-tip actually kind of sort of poked into his ear and got stuck into like his eardrum. And so they had to do a little bit of like a minor surgery to like pull that piece of cotton from his ear. And that's when I learned about how you should actually be cleaning your ear. They have several like ear cleaning tools that look like bobby pins that you should actually be using for your ear. And even when you use those for your ear, you shouldn't be pushing it like all the way into the ear. You should be using those to scrape the like outer part of your ear. But that is a very important lesson that I wish little Lisa knew. Little Lisa was a new mom. She thought she had it all figured out. She's cleaned her ears before. She thought that she was doing something good for her child by using these Q-tips to clean your ears. Child, baby, leave these Q-tips alone. Let me know down in the comments below if you're still using Q-tips. And so next, of course, we're going to move on to your oral hygiene. Of course, it's easy. It's expected that I'm going to say that, child, you need to brush your teeth. But what I would tell my younger self is to truly focus on gum care and invest in toothpaste and fluoride treatments and things that impact my overall gum health. And that does include flossing. Flossing has been one of the most game-changing routines that I could incorporate in my life. And I feel like younger me growing up, I didn't really understand that or appreciate that. And so that wasn't a really like truly a step embarrassing enough for me to say that I really incorporated in my life. Like when I was in undergrad, when I was in high school, just younger me, it is truly something that I really started implementing when I started getting like real benefits. Something that I really started implementing when I got like those real work benefits. And even when I got those real work benefits, like I wasn't really implementing it like that in my like 20s. I didn't really truly get serious about flossing until my 30s. I'm 40 now. So judge somebody else. Yes, I didn't really start truly like flossing until I was in my 30s. And I really started like just getting into like tougher meats because, child, I'm a Haitian girl, so we know us some chicken, rice, and beans. I'd gotten to a season in my life to where I had started to indulge in like steaks and lamb chops and things like that, and tougher meats and things that really like found a place in your teeth. And also I started drinking more coffee. And so it really became pivotal. I mean, it's always important for you to floss, but it really truly became pivotal or very important for me to like truly floss. And now, child, I floss before I brush my teeth and after I brush my teeth. Flossing, it essentially removes plaque and food debris from in between the teeth, where it can ultimately settle and negatively impact, where it can truly ultimately, like, if not done, just ultimately like settle up into the gums and negatively impact your overall gum health. And it took me to really find a dentist to really break that down to me, like how important your gum health was. I mean, I feel like I've had doctors that told me, maybe I had to really see it manifest in my life. There did come a point where it manifested in my life to where, you know, I had to have like extra treatments and, you know, have to be prescribed special mouthwashes to get all of it. And that's without me telling you all of my business. But it is really important for you to like incorporating floss and incorporating like your gum health and really truly focus on using products that promote proper gum health so you can avoid things like gum disease. And so one of the things that has never steered me wrong has always been like Arm and Hammer. There's something about Arm and Hammer that has always been a trusted brand for me. I like to use the Peroxycare, and this does definitely not only whiten. There was honestly a point in time where I was just focused on like whitening toothpaste. But now in this season of my life, baby, it has to say peroxy something. It has to really truly incorporate, overall and promote healthier gum health, because your gums is going to promote healthy breath. You can do all the things. You can, brush your teeth every day, but if you're not doing the things necessary to promote healthy gum health, such as using the right toothpaste, using the right mouthwash, flossing, heavy on the flossing, okay, you can still end up with sour mouth issues if your gums are not healthy. With all the tips and all the tricks and all the products that people can, offer, suggest, or tell you to use, it is so, so important that if you've done all of the things, you've used all of the over-the-counter products, and you're still experiencing issues, you definitely need to consult with your doctor. Me personally, I've been recently using this TheraBreath. I've fallen in love with it. I know it's something that be trending all over the TikTok, all over the Instagram. And I don't know if it's because of the pretty body bottle, but for me, it is because it does kill odor causing bacteria, but it's also non-alcoholic and non-burning. There has just been always something about Listerine that has turned me off. I can't gargle that long with Listerine in my mouth. Like, my mouth be on fire. But I love this because of that. And it does truly help for your breath to stay fresh longer throughout the day. And it helps to get that extra debris out of your mouth that you essentially get out when you floss. And so that thing right there, if you can't tolerate or you can't handle Listerine and just like it's just too powerful for you, I guess I could say that this is for the sensitive mouth girls. That's for the sensitive mouth girls. And so we're going to move on to the next hygiene topic, which for me is something that I've really truly not have had much of an issue with. But because I know people that have had issues, I felt like it was important for me to talk about like your armpit health. And number one, child, make sure you invest in a quality deodorant. Make sure that you invest in deodorants that are not just going to cover up the issue, but to overall, over a period of time, help to heal the issue that you're having. Whether you're somebody who sweats profusely, child, whether you're somebody who has odor issues, there are deodorants, and we've come a long way when it comes to like products and product lines. Me personally, in my household, we've done away with antiperspirant deodorants because antiperspirant deodorants, and this is from personal experience, they can essentially clog up pores because you want the body to sweat. The body is supposed to sweat. It helps the body. It helps to cool the body down. So when you're sweating in your armpit and you're supposed to get that stuff out, that stuff that's just dirty and filled with dirt, but it's an antiperspirant, it's going to keep you from sweating. You're still sweating, but those pockets of sweat really don't have anywhere to go. I hope I'm making a little bit of sense. I feel like that's how the doctor broke it down. And so essentially you can end up with like breakouts under your arms, just a whole nasty mess under there. So baby girls, stay away from like antiperspirant. Am I saying that right? Antiperspirant deodorants, and invest in a quality deodorant that heals. Child, which is one of the reasons why I love this Saltaire deodorant. This is the Pink Beach F 5% AHA serum deodorant, and I love me a good serum. Why can't I pronounce stuff? I love me a good serum deodorant. Not only does it help for you to smell fresh, for a long period of time throughout the day, but it also, over a period of time, helps to heal the problem with bad scents. It helps with discoloration underneath the arms. It helps. So a serum deodorant, what a serum deodorant does is that it has like a dual or multiple functions. And a serum deodorant both functions as both a body care product. It functions as both a deodorant and a skin care. It functions as a deodorant because it offers like that odor protection. This right here, over a period of time, has proven to eliminate that odor, and it also helps to address skin concerns like discoloration and ingrown hairs. That's where the whole AHA comes from. It does help with the overall skin discoloration underneath your arm, if that's an issue for you, especially if you're somebody who shaves under your arm. Child, I can't tell you the last time I shaved. The only time I shave is when I do a this, and my husband hits a this. That is typically the only time that I even remember to shave, because I be having so much going on that I typically forget to shave. That is not a priority for me, not underneath my arms, because I don't grow hair underneath my arms like that. But child, that's besides the point. Next thing, we're going to go into the body routine. And of course, body washes, loofahs, all of that jazz. They're pretty, they're feminine. It gives self-care. There's just something about a hard antibacterial soap that's just going to always do it for me. Specifically Dow antibacterial soap. In my specific routine, I do make it my personal business to use an antibacterial soap. I love me a good old bar soap, but if it's a liquid soap and it's antibacterial, I will still use that soap. Antibacterial helps me to like just get rid of all of the dirt, the germs, the bacteria, that good stuff. And then of course, I have a second step in my routine where I go through with some type of serum wash that adds the moisture back into my skin. Yes, this can be a little dry, but baby, it's still effective. And me and Dial, we go together. We go together, and nothing will ever tear us apart. We go together. Now, I don't use this every day. This is not something that I use every day, but I do make sure that I incorporate it in my body routine. I do use it quite often. I don't use it every day in like the fall, winter months and like the cooler months. But in the summer, baby, she coming out every day. Every day. And don't think that I have dry skin. I have some of the softest skin. You look at me and I give you soft skin. Ask my husband. Some of the softest skin you'll ever feel. But of course, antibacterial soaps are still effective. Those are something that I'm going to personally always use. Don't forget your hand gloves and exfoliate with those hand gloves. I get those from like Walmart, Amazon, what have you. Where did I find some recent good hand gloves? Oh, you can get them from like Marshalls and TJ Maxx. Those are going to help to exfoliate the body as well. And child, when you are exfoliating that body, child, don't forget to lift them things up and exfoliate underneath them things as well, because they need tender and care, especially in the hot, humid months, in the summer, in the spring. I cannot stress the importance of wearing panty liners, especially in the spring or the summer months. And I'm not an OBGYN, but discharge is a natural thing. And panty liners essentially help for you to stay dry. Also, feminine washes, scented, never fragrant. Hoo-ha is created equal. Me personally, I've never been able to do well with a scented feminine wash. And so I'm just going to always say to just keep it sensitive. I've always had to use a sensitive, non-scented wash to be able to control the pH balance down there. And also, like, sis, listen, girl, Once you find a wash that works, you can't treat it like you treat your hair, like you treat your makeup. You need to, don't go out trying different things. You need to stick to that feminine wash that works. Now, the professionals will say that all you need is a little water down there. That's what my professional told me. I don't need all the washes and stuff. All you need is a little water down there. That's what the professionals will say. But girl, get you a good feminine wash. Scented, non-scented, never scented for me. Okay. And once you find one, stick to it. Now I know that there are a lot of girls who are probably against waxing. But one of the things that I would tell myself, little me, is that, girl, don't be afraid of that wax. That wax is your friend. Hairs can carry bacteria, so it does help for you to keep that a little down there, a little bit more fresh when you do wax. Do not be afraid of ingrown hairs. One of the ways that you prevent ingrown hairs when you get a Brazilian wax is to, one, exfoliate before you go and get your wax, and then two, invest in hoo-ha products that will not only help prevent any type of ingrown hairs, but will also help treat them. And one of my best friends that just helped me like cheat in the game is this fur oil. This right here is the fur. I don't know if this is the concentrate oil. There are two different types of fur oils. Fur is a brand that makes body care products, specifically, just to get a little bit more details, but for body care products that people don't like to typically discuss. So sensitive hair products underneath your arm, back acne, body acne, private part hairs. But they do have two oils. Comes in a little bottle like this. It can be a little expensive, but a little goes a very long way. There are two oils. One of the oils help for you to prevent from getting ingrowing hairs, and the other one helps for you to treat it. Whichever one floats. Now we've come to the end of the video. Let's go ahead and chit chat and kiki down in the comments below. Let me know if any of these tips resonated with you, child. You've ever done any of these silly things, or share a hygiene tip that you would share with your younger self. If you found this helpful, feel free to give it a thumbs up. More discoverable out here in these YouTube streets. And as I always like to say, if we vibe, child, don't forget to hit that button, subscribe, join the tribe, join the community, and make sure that you never miss a beat. And until the next video,